Hello, welcome back to the GGBet Chicago Invitational. On the first map, we just seen Optic take it away in overtime. It was a long and hard-fought battle for the Optic side, but they get it done. And that means we're here on the second map, which is, of course, Heroic's map pick of Overpass. This one, I don't know how this one's going to go.
I'm first off, again, we did expect a close game, but still pretty impressed by what Heroic were able to showcase versus Optic on the first map. I think going into Overpass, I'm going to lean the way of those guys. They've been playing very well on the map as of late. I mean, just off the back, if you want to look at their last month of results, they've beaten Big, Na'Vi, Avangard, and Fnatic on the map. Avangard and Fnatic, they pretty much demolished on those two, which is no easy feat. So it's a map that they feel have all the reason in the world to feel really good about. And hopefully they can bring that into it. Optic on their end, they've had a couple of ups and downs on the map. I mean, they lost in, I think it was New York qualifier versus Swedish mixed team on it. And so they haven't really found their stride on it quite yet. But maybe this is the game where it all turns around.
Well, we'll see. I think there wasn't really a large disparity between the two teams when it comes to individuals. I think both of the teams had their individuals firing. Definitely a reason as to why we even reached overtime, and it's a good start from Stown. He's got himself 2 kills. Essetag will find one back, but this is brilliant from Heroic, and Stown just doing 360s.
A little bit labored from both sides there, but in the end, it's going to be Heroic to close it out, playing map. Make sure that it doesn't end up in anything crazy. Nico. Nico's been brilliant for Optic so far in the games we've seen him. Had a pretty good start to Nuke, obviously excellent in the first map on Mirage as well. So we see Heroic being favored by GD.bet with the odds, 1.35 on them to win Overpass, and I'd have to agree with that. I mean, we did see Optic being favored on Nuke. Makes sense, it's the respective team's own pick, right? So you'd look for them to have something special. See a different way of throwing the pit smoke on Overpass there. Essetag also having the follow-up nade for anyone who were to run past it. It's a nice little setup just to do some initial damage if somebody decides to get very aggressive on the side of Optic. It's not going to lead to anything, though. Here we see. This is like one of the more common rounds, I feel like, to lose for a lot of teams when they play like halfway aggressively on a map like Overpass on the CT side. Just get bogged down by all the rushing pistols.
Kind of get caught out of position, but luckily Blame F is able to hold on. He will get the kill on the Tessus. He's looking for a little bit more as well, but Essetag will take away Nico with refresh hitting the floor as well. Well held here from Heroic, well dealt with. We've seen a lot of these sort of anti-ecos go in favor of the team that lost the pistol. So
it was very messy on Nuke, not just after the pistol, but also midway through the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's definitely some cleanup work needed to be done in practice for both of these teams, but we do know that. Ever since CSGO has been out, it feels like with how prominent pistols can be, it's been more of a common occurrence than what it was in the previous iterations of the game.
And it's so difficult to deal with as well. You know, you can use all the theory you want, but it's just when you get hit in the face with the deagle, you can't really do a lot about it.
Yeah. And sometimes it is just off the benefit of your opponent. It's not necessarily you making many mistakes, but a guy gets 3 1-deags, and you just kind of have to tip your hat and be like, all right, fair play.
Fair enough, yeah. I think that's the whole sort of when FaZe started. It's just were like first made with Nico and stuff. That was we've seen all those runs with the Deagles come through all the time.
Speaking of nades coming through, and it's not going to land, but NATO doesn't really need too much help. Cleans up that pretty nicely. And that's even with a missed HE. Could have been even more brutal, but they do stay alive with all 5.
Yeah, I'll put NATO Safix on top of the scoreboard alongside Stan with 4 kills each. And very solid start here from Heroic, not really tested too much. And so Optic are going to have to try and show us what they've brought to the table here on Overpass. There will be a buy coming in, the AK-47s across the board, and Heroic going for a bonus run. This is where they keep most of their SMGs. Only the one rifle, and it's a FAMAS, if you can even call it that.
Bit of an eco rifle. Not the strongest one. We'll see if they do anything different as a result of it, if they're going to get aggressive. Actually, we can see the monster push here. Flash comes out. Refresh just half blind. Made it through the smoke. How long is they going to hold the angle? Not long enough. Stabbing goes down. Doesn't really do significant damage onto Refresh either. Its config has taken the brunt of the damage so far. But opening pick goes the way of Optic.
Safix is looking for a little bit more, but it's Blame F. The timing pays off. 2 kills come in. MSL and Tessus completely cut off by that one. will be the man advantage, but not for long as Nico, he's still fragging, he's still got the SG, and SSI has been picked apart. Just under a minute left as Optic, they need to recover the ball.
Oh, blame him if this is really smart by him. He can expect the A rotation off of what Nico's done on the bomb side, and he knows it's going to be a late one because he just had players over towards B. If he is able to drop the bomb here, oh, so close. Refresh though, being the hero.
Yeah.
And even if it, most likely would have been traded out by Config regardless, but it gives them such an ample opportunity to make a rotation or actually cut up through Underpass. NATO, 9 HP, nearly had the drop on Nico. Needs to get out of there. Finally gets the kill. Still a chance here. Ducking and weaving. Oh, follows it up with the second one onto the already damaged refresh. That's bomb down as well. 10 seconds.
And with Config alone, definitely a player that can pull this off. Completely blinded though. He has to make his way back into the bomb site. There's a player just hiding behind the truck. Config not being given anything and there's absolutely no time at all for him to work with. And so, he's died after time. That is so unfortunate. $450 is all he's got in the bank.
That's salt in the wound. Freiburg picking up the AK as well, and what a round from Blame F. Yeah. That timing, off the sandbag boost from Heroic, you can see NATO Safix, that's where he dropped down to 9 HP. Just creates so much commotion. Blame F is able to find 2 in the back. Does significant damage to refresh, which allows for NATO to get the second frag as well. If he's on full HP, that headshot is not enough to find refresh lying on the ground. Bomb being dropped and everything. Well, let's see if the follow-up nade is here. Oh, a little bit early, but you can see the ID from Heroic as well. That would have chunked up himself significantly if it's a little bit later.
He's still running.
Oh, hello?
It's like Forrest Gump right now. He just keeps running towards long. He will start to try and take a fight, and that was quite difficult to spot as a tag, actually. Hide behind the toilet sign.
That's a bit rough. You wanted to set it up. That's always so awkward. You can't actually get the trade-off for it. Blame F's going to take the fight. Loses out. Attack's not able to get the immediate trade here. And meanwhile, we have Stavin fighting it out over towards Pillar. A lot of action happening here on both sides of the map. Eventually, NATO comes down to help Stavin with refresh. His man advantage yet again lies with Heroic.
Yeah, this definitely looking like it'll be 5-0. It's the start that you want, but Nico got a great Eagle headshot coming in. Freiburg will get rid of Config, and Nico will be put to stop, but it won't be Tessis coming in with a Deagle headshot of his own, and now he's got an op. Is there a chance for him to make this happen? Certainly. It looked like he wanted to go for the AK instead, but the bomb plan has to come through. That's the important part. First step into this difficult clutch situation. He goes back over towards long, and 4 is there as well available, but he's going to use the op. He wants the instant kill potential as he looks back in towards stairs. He holds that angle off. But again, without the information, there's so many angles he has to be aware of. At this point, down. He's clearing all the possible positions. NATO Safix in behind him as well. Tessis makes the right call to go aggressive. There's the first pick. One more player left, and Tessis might just get it. There it is. The clutch comes in, and it'll be Optic on their first.
Damn. Not around you expect Optic to win out, but Nico landing some great headshots, and yeah, Tessis making the most out of that clutch for sure. Even with the op, not the weapon of choice usually from him. No, Freiburg does pretty much everything he needs to do there as well. Again, great shot from Tessis.
Third one.
Maybe a little bit overzealous, but I think he expected the flash to do more for him. There you see. The retake from NATO and Stavin, I think, could have been done a little bit better, but here we go. MSL back on the op. So I'm actually getting into the game more or less once he got the op, both on Mirage and also on Nuke.
Yeah, and that was his first kill of this game so far.
Yeah.
Config yet to frag as well, so perhaps this is the turnaround for both those players.
Let's see what the round has in store. Ezatag has the op again. Missed a couple of crucial ones in that last round to swing things back in for Optic.
I'm quite surprised we don't see NATO Safix pick up the op a little bit more in this team.
Yeah, no, it hasn't happened too often. We saw it a couple of times on Mirage in their first game, where they went for the double op setup. Guess when we get further into it, might be an option for them. It's not like Ezatag has been a poor primary opera for Heroic ever since he picked that up. NATO doing a pretty fine job with the M4, finding 2 kills. It's the op down on the side of Optic. Freiburg ready to set down the Molotov to prevent any sort of bomb plant. a little bit late. Actually, doesn't throw the Molotov. I expected him to line that up. Do have the potential to go for a boost here. See if they can peer into the bomb site. Or if they just want to wait out the smoke, they do have a tag on the flank here with the op.
Time's starting to tick though. Nico has picked up Tag, and it really just leaves no other option but to try and commit in towards the bomb site. Tess is blinded, gets one, refresh assists, and it'll be Optic getting 2 in a row. Much better from them. And Heroic, you know, they have sort of that burning question. Do we go for the force here, or maybe half buy? They have got money in the bank on a couple of players, but again, it's not going to be enough for that, you know, solid buy coming across the board.
Yeah, I think best case scenario is you have NATO dropping a couple of deagles for your teammates, and that's pretty much where you put it at. Flame is actually going to opt in for light Kevlar. Puts him on the lower end, but he should be okay going into the next round here. Might actually see NATO picking up that off, considering the lot of cash that he has remaining. So a bit of a four-man setup on long from Heroic, putting most of their eggs into one basket at least. Config most likely to be flashed around the corner here. You'd assume so. You could tell. Blame is already in an anti-flash position. One tank comes in. They've only spotted one player, I'm pretty sure, in that whole ordeal, and that's Tag. But it's enough to send Heroic back from long. They're set up. I mean, they might feel like they've been exposed. Refresh making his way out. Monster. NATO is covering off short. Meanwhile, Optic really haven't done much of anything.
Yeah, they're only sort of starting to take mid-control at this point. They haven't done anything at all. And they'll be bringing their players a little bit further back, but that's not exactly the greeting Nico was hoping for when he opened the door. Safik's buying his head off. And it'll be 30 seconds left. Here go Optic, right towards the A-bomb site. BliMF, he's going to try and slow this, try and deny a couple of players access to the A-bomb site, but it will not be a single kill. Tessus will pick him up. Freiburg in with one, but again, dealt with pretty quickly here. And Optic, they're looking for the bomb plant. Missed opportunity from Safik's. And Heroic, it's time for a reset. Try and fall back a little bit further and consider options. And there isn't a whole lot of them. It's all on NATO. Left here with a Deagle, missing the shots, and he'll be dropped as well. So 3 in a row for Optic. When they got the rifles, they've pretty much looked indomitable.
They've handled it pretty well, even with a rocky start. So no more anti-eco shenanigans like we saw on Nuke. It's going to be actually, Tag has dropped the op from NATO. So yeah, whatever hopes we had of seeing NATO with the ops, it's going to leave us wanting for a little bit longer. Maybe when they get more of an established economy, could be the case. But for now, Heroic have a lot more utility than they've had for a couple of rounds. That's something to work in their favor. Let's see what they can do with it. Tag splashed off the aggressive position. Water has been given up as well. MSL going to search for an opening. Did a pretty good job of finding those on Nuke as well. Wants to carry that over into Overpass.
Well, Nico is the first man to draw blood in round number 8. It's on to Tag. MSL is just hiding behind the sandbags, and at this point, BliMF's already in behind. Again, it's so annoying for them. But Nico has his number this time. He will pick him off. Config with a kill on his down, and the B bomb site is under a hell of a lot of pressure. Freiburg trying to cut off that play. Will eventually get the kill. Safik's the one as well, but still, there's a chance for the CT side here. Freiburg has to make it happen. The bomb not yet planted. He's arrived quick enough. Smoke goes down in the middle of the bomb site. That's going to allow safe plant. Freiburg's made noise as he drops inside the bomb site. He's looking for one kill, trying to turn it into a 1v1. And he has picked up Tessus. Just one more to find, and it's Refresh. Still inside of the smoke. Freiburg, low bullet count, 2 bullets in the magazine, and he pulls it off. Freiburg clean on the headshot, and Refresh has no idea what just hit him.
I was so worried for Freiburg there when I saw the 2 bullets left in the chamber. I figure like this is going to be the classic situation. He gets the first ding.
Yeah.
Probably would have needed 2 additional bullets to finish off the kill. But no, laser sharp on the side of Freiburg to clutch that out 1v2. What a big round that is as well. They never really had an advantage. I mean, Nico doing a great job.
And the odds are slightly favouring Heroic. Those odds start to lower themselves a little bit after Optic's recent success, but this clutch from Freiburg coming in huge for Heroic, and this is just beautiful.
This is the big one.
Oh, that is just disgusting.
Exactly what you needed. Nico did such a great job of finding 2 frags over towards that A bomb site. As the tag goes down, not even a scratch to his name, and Blame F on the rotation gets caught out. That should be enough for Optic to be happy about it. I mean, even when you see the rotation, I think it's Stavin that leaves short, running up towards lower, right? Gets caught out from Refresh, coming out from Monster. Everything's looking primed for Optic to get a pretty easy round victory. And NATO with a stabilizing kill, and Freiburg finding, I think it was a total of 3 that round. Very well done. And off back in the hands of S-Tag. Legs config.
Ooh, I was going to say, I thought he missed that shot, but
yeah,
he hits it, just not enough to take the kill. And config, he will get away with his life, but definitely going to be a scary one for it.
Underpass control gained for Optic. Not really running into a whole lot of resistance, though. We can see Heroic tucked down into the back of the A side corner. I'm going to set up with the bait set up over towards long here. You have S-Tag with the op, going to take the initial shot, which hopefully allows for Blame F to find the drop on at least one Optic player. I feel so bad for players like Refresh when they have to play this kind of role on a team. It's like, yeah, you're going to sit outside of B. And that's going to be your entire job for 15 T rounds, more or less.
It's like when you're getting your default set up, MSL. Oh, MSL's in the team. He's going to finally unlock my abilities. And he's just like, you're sitting B. Ah, really?
Unlocked. As a tag. Cannot win out the duel versus MSL. MSL is really feeling up the op these days. It's good stuff to see. 2 opening frags for the in-game leader. So even if Freiburg brings 1 back, this might be all in vain. See Heroic actually leading over towards that A bomb site. Might just give it up in entirety as Refresh finally gets activated a little bit, but MSL just creating havoc all around.
Well, config and Refresh. 2v2 needs to happen here. Refresh finally getting involved in the A action. The time is so low. They just need to play for elimination. And Freiburg, he might just win it again. Bomb plant's going through. There's enough time. Again, just at the millisecond, Freiburg got 12 HP and Refresh will connect. So starts off the round by doing nothing and ends up closing it out.
Well, damn. That's getting a little bit too close for comfort. If you're Optic, MSL finding 3 frags, big ones as well, towards the A bomb site, opens everything up, and it takes a long time before there's any answer from Heroic as well. Yeah, they lean over towards that A bomb site, but even still, finding openings on the side of Optic. Freiburg managed to, I guess, put it within reach with the 2 frags he finds, but it's still like a late response. It's not like a direct trade or anything off of what they find. So for Optic to struggle that badly to find a round is worrying, but they do at least get it. And what a swing round it is. Puts Heroic back into the eco.
That's twice today, though, where you've seen the sort of last-second bomb plant coming
While
in.
it's on, yeah, like it has ticked down from 4, so it's like 3 point something left when they start planning.
Pretty scary stuff for Optic. You know, Freiburg, he thought he'd done enough, just hiding. But
yeah, I think everyone thought he had done enough. NATO did an admirable job of just running about, seeing if he could survive, just keep them at bay. But Nico.
A meat grinder for Nico.
Oh, looks the other way.
He thought it was a player behind him. He turned away, expecting a flash maybe as well coming through. It just doesn't really work out for them. They have an AK to work with. Nice. Config will take away S-Tags down. Still got the AK. Safik's dispatched with. And again, the win for Heroic in this one is saving the AK. If they get that into the next one, they'll be very happy.
Absolutely so. It looks like PlayMF wants to see if he can find 1 straggling T-side player to damage up. They vacated the bomb side just in time. No extended losses for Optic. But yeah, as you said, the big win for Heroic right there is holding on to an AK going into this one. And it's not going to be the prettiest of buys for Heroic, but with that saved weapon, it allows for them to throw things around, get an op on S-Tag. It's actually NATO pretty often, if I'm not mistaken, that keeps throwing the op over to S-Tag.
I'd say this one is a very important one for Heroic. If they don't end up picking this one up, Optic are going to have such a strong team side. And on Overpass, we generally look at the map being a little bit more CT-sided, and especially with Heroic wanting to be the pickers of this map, and that's great aggression from Estetai, but he goes back for more. We'd love to have just seen him fall away with that pick, bait them into him, have the Sapphics there ready to reply, but luckily enough, he does get the trade, and so back to the advantage here for Heroic.
Extra sponsor NATO. I think a bit unfortunate with everyone looking away from the flash coming in. There's just a bit of a late standoff that he wins out eventually. 2v4 config. It's going to allow Nico to see if he can force any rotations, getting picks, but Freiberg with a nasty angle. Not really sure what you can do with that if you're T.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Now the boost coming in as well. Oh, okay then. That works.
Yep, config definitely expecting that one. Deals with it very well indeed. But has 3 more to find. He's got 45 seconds to do it as well. He's going to get the bomb plant in behind the sandbags. Get some extra cash into the bikes, if nothing else here. As config still realistically can make this happen. He wants to go towards him. He wants to take the fight towards them. And if he can take this headshot quickly, there's a real chance as they start to come in towards him. One from short, one from just below heaven. And config, another kill coming in. Config makes it happen. The ace clutch comes through. And that's going to be another one on the board for Optic. That's the skill that config possesses.
There you go. We haven't seen a whole lot of configs so far in this series, but what a make to make your entrance. That is a 1v4 and an ace to boot.
That's just mental.
It really is.
This guy had no idea. BlameF had literally no idea where config was. He just played it perfectly.
That's what you like to see. Heroic are going to be kicking themselves for that one, though. Stabbing a little bit too far forward with config pushing up, as we see the odds have shifted severely now in the favor of Optic. 1.66 to the 2.33 for Heroic after losing that round. And it should be Heroic with 6, an Optic at 5, but config wanted it otherwise.
And the scary thing is as well, this is Heroic's map pick. And being this stretched already, like they just haven't really looked too comfortable coming out of the first couple of rounds that they won. And you have to remember they got such a strong lead, and then after that, Optic have just shown a lot of strength. 1 kill from BlameF is there. Tessus does reply. This shot from MSL, another easy one. Cost him.
All right then. Freiberg makes the jump before MSL can get the angle on him. Oh, spots him picking up the AK though, but that might actually, shift his focus down to 34 HP. Tessus does a good job of finding Stavit. With the low HP on the remaining players, I think the ones with weapons in their hands are actually going to back out. Again, Heroic do pretty good damage here on their eco rounds, but I mean, they need to actually get rounds on the board too. It can't just be dealing damage the entire time. Optic got to be feeling pretty good about how this is panning out as it is right now.
Oh, that's a tag. If you can get a kill here, that's not too bad. He's only got a P250, so he's expendable.
Definitely is. Money is not that great on Optic.
Just toss yourself at him, see what you can get done. Oh, that was nearly the AWP. Oh.
That was, that could have been real expensive. Pretty much would have been the majority of Tess's built-up bank going in the drain if MSL wanted to rebuy that. We have 7 rounds for Optic, and Heroic definitely within a chance here. I mean, they have had plenty of opportunities to hold on to this and basically create some distance. Instead, it's Optic just eking out these rounds time and time again.
Yeah. A little bit of trivia for you as well.
Oh, bug smoke.
He just ran straight through the Molotov. Config. Oh, okay. Grenade comes in. Good stuff from Stown there, taking him away.
The smoke just didn't bloom.
Get rid of by the Molotov or something? I don't know what just happened.
What's the smoke? I'm not sure how that missed. We're seeing a lot of funky things. I mean, we had the Molotov from Freiberg on Nuke.
Yeah.
That burned under Tessus, but didn't actually do damage to him. And then we had, the smoke. I mean, this was a bug, or it has been a bug for quite a time. I think Valve at least said they fixed this at one point with smokes not blooming immediately on
I
contact
remember
with smokes.
that as well, the update patch note that they had.
Yeah, but that very much... It didn't seem like config missed with this Molotov, at least from our angle.
Yeah. Probably need to see it again to really have sure say. But Optic, they have the deficit They're going to try and source that kill back, though, as MSL getting boosted up on top of the flower bed. He's looking for the kill towards Bank, and there is one player there jump spotting, trying to get the info, but MSL is tucked in towards the walls, trying to limit the information, trying to get close before he pounces in towards the site, and that's exactly what he plans on doing, but the angle from Essetag, surely there's no way he does not get a kill here. As Blame F has cleared the toilets, there's a player there, and that's Tessus. He'll be finished off. Essetag tries to hold on, but it's Freiburg coming in with that kill. Molotov will force Essetag away, and it's all on the MSL. The 1v4 clutch needs to happen with 10 seconds. It's not going to. At this point, MSL, it's a safe call, but can he make it happen?
Couldn't do what Config did. Not even going to get Freiburg. So, strong response from Heroic there.
Yeah.
Much needed one as well. Not taking too much losses. Being able to keep people alive, making that rebuy possible, and so much stronger as well. And, well, we can see what kind of damage that's been put onto the economy of Optic. It's a little bit all over the place. Tessa's before buying sitting at 7.2. Nico at 2.5. Config 3.8. We'll actually opt to buy into it off of Tessa's drop to Nico, but again, it's not going to be too pretty.
And while we have a little bit of a lull, we have got a bit of a deal going on, guys. If you head over to csgo.net and use the code Chicago, you can get 30% more on the balance and also win some cool new skins. So definitely head on over towards csgo.net to enter your chances there. And also a little bit of trivia for you. This is actually quite interesting. I think one of the first times, at least I've seen, Refresh play against Down, which obviously are ex-teammates from
That is true.
Freisters.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are ex-teammates, though.
Yeah, I guess there is that kind of a thing, similar to the French scene in some way that everyone has kind of played at a team in a team together at one point, but very much true for the Danish scene because you don't often see Danish players go without a team for too long. They love just creating a new team, whether it lasts 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Obviously, this is at the tier 3 and lower level.
Yeah.
But they feel like it's oftentimes better to play in a team just for the sake of playing in a team. Which I actually admire. I think it's a really good mindset to have. Just playing,
Keep yourself fresh.
Exactly, playing correct Counter-Strike in that sense, not just becoming a complete pug player and falling into those bad habits. And also just attending a bunch of LANs.
Yeah.
Denmark has so many local LANs that they love to attend, and it's also why you see so many Danish teams being good at LAN.
I think the Swedes do it as well quite a bit. You know, that you always see like a lot of the tier 3 Swedish teams being made as well.
Yeah, constantly, like, again, just making sure that they're staying in shape. Essetag finally nails that shot. It's been missing a fair few, but as long as he gets started, that's going to be a good thing for Heroic. Damage done onto Config as well. The bait setup is going to be dissolved by now. Oh, Freiburg actually gets the better of it. Tess is to find Essetag, though, so it's going to be with that one frag. Decent nade, but doesn't really stop Config at all.
Oh, wow. Blim's going to peek the corner, and has Config pick that up? Another one for Config. Another Heroic have just fallen apart. There's a man advantage for Optic. Bomb plant comes in as well. Stout throws the Molotov, but again, it's not really enough just yet. Optic, they've got their post plants. It's got to be on Stout and Nado Safix to make this happen. Otherwise, it's Optic walking away with the half one already. If they can get a little bit more than that, obviously they want to, but we'll see if Heroic can stop it from happening. We'll see if they can get 7 as they start to make their way back in. It's Nado Safix close by. Kill from Tessus comes in. It's all on Nado Safix. So many angles to check, and Config will finish him off. What a run from Config and Tessus. Together, they make it happen for Optic when it was looking pretty dire.
It really was. Again, Essetag finding the opening frag, but he's just not been able to have impact with the op. We were talking about how we, thought we might be able to see NATO picking up that op and a double op setup or something like that. Essetag is, for how poorly it's going with the op, at the very best he's able to find one single frag and that gets traded out in a poor position that allows for Optic to get in a lot of ground. Might just be better off playing with the rifle. Yeah. At least with how it's going now. He's doing an admirable job on Nuke. So
it seems that Optic just know how to play against it better. And this is the scary Config. When he's going
fearless.
He's just straight away pushing through, but he is stopped before he can get anything more. So good answer from Nado Safix.
Yeah, you do still take those if you're Optic. Playing 4v4 again stretches the defense thin. Got a lot more room to work with. You can be happy with that. MSL sees a not ideal monster smoke coming down. That actually might bait one of the Heroic players in to try to change up their position if they want to get on the basically the left side of the monster tunnel. That's where Stavin is. Oh, the trade is not going to be there as well. Refresh recovers.
I don't see how Heroic don't get one kill there. There is such a great hold outside Monster, but they just don't even get a single kill. Refresh makes it happen on 2 players, and the bomb goes down. So Optic looking very solid here on their T side. Even though Heroic have made it competitive at times, it feels as though just at crunch time, they just haven't been able to make it happen.
Optic looking like the stronger Danes as of right now.
Well, BlameF is definitely the strongest Dane on the server, but he has been finished.
Can't bench press the entirety of the Optic lineup.
No.
But
Especially
yeah,
MSL.
even distribution of frags on the side of Optic, and really good to see. I mean, you were prophesizing it a little bit. We saw MSL and Config sitting at 0-5 to start things off, and when we saw the first kill, you were saying, well, this might be the one round to start it off. Config ends up with 13 frags.
Yeah.
In addition to that crazy ace, that was a 1v4 situation. I think that more or less broke Heroic's back in this half.
Yeah, that was enough just to snap them. And you see the odds definitely starting to favor Optic a hell of a lot more from GG.bet. And I don't see... If Heroic don't win this pistol, it's going to be so difficult for them to get back into this.
Yeah. And again, it's not necessarily that they've made poor rotations or bad decisions in that sense. It's just they've been outgunned more often than not. They're not hitting their stride on an individual point of view. Makes it really tough to win regardless of what side you're on, because you're making the right decisions.
Yeah. It's hard mentally as well when you
know you're doing the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And still not being rewarded.
Not working.
Absolutely.
Demoralizing.
Yeah. MSL as well. Well, the stats might not, I guess, tell you that he's having a pretty good game. He's been finding so many openings. Again, keep in mind, he started 0-5, now sitting at 9-11. And a majority of those frags were of crucial impact for Optic to really turn this T-side around. Now refresh. First bastion of defense. Quickly dealt with inside of Heroic. And, well, NATO and S-Attack is really going to work here. In a matter of seconds, that's 4 players down from the Optic side. And you said, Heroic, they might very well need that pistol rounds to have a hope of staying in this game. They're going to get one as well. MSL goes down to Freiburg. Oh, explosive strat from Heroic is going to do the trick for them. 7 rounds on the board. Now, it's all about not messing up the anti-eco. So Optic being able to capitalize the most out of it. No, I mean Heroic again. Sorry. Heroic being able to capitalize on it in the first half.
Yeah.
They need to do so again. They had strong starts to their maps, but it's looking a little bit labored once Optic gets a lot of utility and weaponry on their side.
Yeah, it seems when you get the guns in their hands, Optic just look like a more solid team,
Yeah,
which is kind of scary.
A little bit crisper, which is not something I would have expected, again, with how up and down Optic have been in their performances. But again, it's an MSL-led team. It might require a little bit of time to get the ball rolling, and once they start catching fire, it becomes a very scary opponent.
And the scary thing is as well, I was just taking a look at HLTV, and actually Heroic have dominated the opening duels and are still behind, which is pretty nuts.
That is really, yeah, that is pretty crazy.
I think a lot of that will probably be, obviously, exploded because of the early start they got, but I think it is a pretty scary sign that they have won so many opening duels and still yet unable to lead the half. So
yeah, it is pretty wild if you look at pretty much, well, any team. Doesn't even matter what, you can kind of disregard whatever tier they're playing out as well. If a team gets an opening kill, either if it's T side or CT side, they win like 75+% of each round where they get an opening. That's why it's such a big focal point for everyone when they're talking about Counter-Strike and how much that actually means to them. It's because of that exact stat. And if Heroic are not able to live up to it, if they're just converting on 50% of this, then
it's not
obviously
enough.
they're in for a rough time.
Well, Nico has been very crisp on the deagle in this game so far.
He's
Definitely
been
one of the
lights
better
out.
players with it. And he's going to go for another one. They're not even caring that he's here, but can't quite capitalize on that one. But Config and Refresh, in fact, will. And S-Attack will be finished off. Heroic, it happens again. The pistols just keep coming through for Optic.
Yeah, just not in the pistol rounds.
Yeah, not the pistol ones. You have to upgrade your pistols slightly. They're only good with the hand cannons.
Well, to be fair, if you can do that, you'll take that any day. I mean, losing pistol, winning the following round is always going to be better for you long term, which sounds pretty weird. But obviously, you don't want to start off the game losing pistols on purpose just for that to be a chance.
Or you could just win the pistol and the next one.
Exactly. That is kind of the way. That's what you're aiming for.
Heroic can't do it, though.
Instead, they're going to opt in for a scout on this attack. Deagles themselves. Let's see if their hand cannons can work to the same level of Optic. Stavin might not get the chance even. 24 HP. Oh, the grenade smoke. And, well, BlameF's Deagle and Freiburg's beat to 50. That's going to net them 2 kills to open things up.
Is it going to happen again?
Yep.
We've seen this on Nuke, I think.
Yep, we have.
So
I guess the one upside for Optic right here is the weaponry that's been picked up on the side of... Ooh, okay, well, scratch everything I've said. Freiburg's apparently a laser beam with the MP5.
Config, he doesn't even care. He's going to push towards the top of the stairs, keep making his way in towards the bomb site, preventing any space from Heroic, and that has pulled it back into touching distance, although solo on both Config and Refresh. Same can be said for Stown and Esotark, though. Nerosaphic's the player with the most health on the server currently. You
have to question what BlameF is thinking there, trying to reaggress with nobody near him. If they go 2 up there for a duel, that's the best decision you can make. You can get a trade. So Config picks up a frag, sure, that's fine. You trade him out, Refresh down on 7 HP alone in a 1v3. You take that any day of the week. Instead, just no tradability. Don't get the kill on Config. You put your team in a much rougher position than it needs to be. Still, though, as you said, solo HP, that this still should be doable. Armor doesn't really come into effect, and Esotark just makes quick work of Refresh as he looks the wrong way.
No, that's not the way Optic wanted that one to go.
No. I mean, you got to give us, or you got to take it as good as you could give it, right?
Yeah.
So if you can do that to Heroic, you have to assume that Heroic can do the same to you. And that's exactly what we saw. Freiburg and BlameF combining for 3 kills. Man, it's been messy a lot of these times. I mean, you see the full committal from MSL to get the kill onto Stavin because he's tagged up. That sets up a start. It's similar to what we saw actually in one of the first rounds of the first half, right? With BlameF coming through the doors with UMP on the bonus rounds for bonus round for Heroic. Just creating enough commotion at one point of the map where you have basically your opponent biting on whatever you're trying to sell, to create space for someone else. And BlameF seems to be very proactive at taking advantage of that. This is a much stronger buy from Heroic. Let's see what's...
Yeah, just please don't lose to this. So this would literally hurt my brain.
There are 2 Deagles out. Nico does have one.
And an M4 on Config.
Yeah. This it's not an easy buy to go up against, and we'll see what comes of it.
I feel like this scrappy style of Counter-Strike, though, the back and forth, it'll generally always favor the T-side economy. Because it's so much more expensive to be a CT-sided player.
That's very true. And opening kills like that is obviously going to favor the T-side too. It's the one M4 they had gone. Add to injury. Freiburg finds Refresh trying to get some map control. And surely you can deal with this. MSL might have the perfect flank here. Question is how many can actually find. Freiburg's still creating havoc over towards that B bomb site, but MSL can bring this back for them. 1 down. 1.5. There we go. It's going to pick up, well, not necessarily needs to trade out the scout from Esotark, but bomb site is open on B. Still a chance here. BlameF.
Oh, this might be it though. BlameF just holding the bottom of the stairs. That's the kill on the Tessus. And so MSL, it's got to be massive here. It has to be one of the most incredible plays I've ever seen. And I just don't think it's going to happen. So we probably just set up for an exit kill. Yeah. Try and limit the economy of Heroic because he does know that they're not going to have a whole lot built up.
Very true. Ooh, doesn't get the tag though.
I think that would have been the kill as well.
Yeah, it's pretty much BlameF who's the only one who can take 2 hits here from a scout. MSL just wanting to hold on to that scout going into the next round because Optic are not going to have the money to buy up. It's very unlikely that they're going to attempt another force buy off of this. But he can still do some damage. I mean, any sort of tag activates any kind of pistol, really, in such a big way. So you have to feel a little bit worried. I think that's actually a lot of teams have mentioned this as of late. That one of the most annoying teams they can play against, almost regardless of what tier they're at, is Avangard. And it's simply off the back that James saves so much that you can never feel completely confident about what you're going up against into a round, because everyone else might have an eco, but you run into James with an op, or
Yeah.
it could be the 12th round in a row.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, and it just makes game planning a lot harder.
He just waits until oh no. That boost could have happened, but BlameF checks her at the right time, and he just moves in towards the B-bomb site. They're finding even more damage here at Heroic, and leaves Tessus and MSL in an impossible situation again. At this point, it will be 10-10, the scoreline even. And, things are looking a little better for Heroic now. This is their map pick. This is the one they need to win. If not, it will be a 2-0 for Optic.
Yeah. If Heroic were to close this out, we are going to Mirage, which fittingly enough is what both teams played in their initial game here. Optic versus Gamer Legion. Heroic versus Avantgarde. You see BlameF having the presence of mind to check that boost. Works out pretty nice for them. Here we go. 3K for BlameF. And once again, updated odds. This time, Heroic has swung back into it. 1.68 in odds for them to win the map. 2.08 in favor of Optic doing so.
There's a lot of chat right now.
A lot of chatting. People are running back into T-spawn, assuming there's been a bit of a technical issue.
Gone. Esatag was just standing there looking at the wall, so
yeah.
I assume that is the problem. I assume we're going to have a technical pause, and while we're at that, did you know you can win, on CSGO Net, there are discounts on new cases every week.
There you go. So using the code Chicago, CSGO Net is going to give you 30% bonus to your top up. Get some chance at winning some cool skins. For now, though, between these two teams, they're looking to win to, well, basically secure their place in a semifinalist of this Invitational. And keep in mind, the winner here does get a spot at IEM Chicago later in the year.
Yeah.
Again, we had Clone just a week ago. That was Liquid grabbing that spot. Pretty fun Invitational altogether. I mean, we got a bit of a pre-show, I guess, of what we ended up seeing at the Pro League Finals with G2 and Liquid. And who knows, maybe whoever wins out in this Invitational could create a bit of a spark going into Chicago. I think we have some pretty decent teams to create some upsets. I mean, Force was one of the teams that we were really impressed by going into the Cologne Invitational. And I don't see any reason why some of the teams here couldn't necessarily help create an upset or have a bit of a miracle run, a Cinderella story, if you like, going into Chicago.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Norwegians.
Oh, Nordavin, yeah.
I want to see what they can do.
I have, I guess, mixed feelings about seeing them. Obviously, always fun to see my friends play out. Obviously, this is guys I've known for many, many years and play with a lot. But it's that I know what they can do, and then I see what they do.
It's like,
and that every now and again, it's more like do than what they should be doing. Yeah, that's a bit frustrating
They recently
from
made
a personal point of
change,
view.
right?
Hmm?
They recently made a change.
Yeah, ratification, but put to the bench. Didn't seem like they quite found the role for him to really shine. I mean, obviously he had pretty decent run of things in No Chance. He's been swapping up his roles in what he's been having to play in different teams quite a bit, but didn't really pan out for him. So they brought in Hadra, which I'm assuming everyone's going to be calling him Harry.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to that
Yeah.
when we're casting them.
I'm assuming that's going to be the case. But yeah, no, again, skilled individual. These are all like the guys who are just dooming it out on Face It. I think they probably like collectively have like an average elo of like 6,000 or something.
It's mental.
Yeah.
They're very, very good. I think they were the first sort of team to pick up Vertigo and try and make it their home map. And,
Yeah, they really like put in a lot of work on it.
I think they were the first professional team to play Vertigo in a professional match against AGO.
There you go. Early adapters. And I mean, I think for a team like that, it's still in the learning phase. They still, I mean, it's Rubino doing the in-game leading on that team. He's not by any means a natural in-game leader. It's more by force, I guess, that he has to do it. He's also the most experienced player in that team, so it makes sense in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's tough really to go up against more established teams who have more experienced in-game leaders and whatnot on necessarily the standard maps. So adapting Vertigo early is perfectly fine. But yeah, I think they can have very, very high highs. I mean, they did make it through the qualifiers for the close, close qualifiers for the minors, and so on. Then they dropped the ball a little bit. I think they lost to Tricked, if I'm not mistaken, a team that they have beaten in the past before as well. So, yeah, consistency is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of talent within in Norway. You have the likes of Rin, who's probably the best player from Norway.
Oh, not even probably.
No,
I think you're safe to say Rin is, he's...
Then you got Rubino, obviously, who...
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Kroman.
a good player.
Yeah, we've gathered a fair few of them now in Nordavind. I think also one guy that more and more people are going to learn about is Halzerk.
Okay.
Who, fun enough, is the younger brother of Helzerk. You know, you can tell the creativity was there.
Oh, yeah.
Younger brother of Helzerk, who used to be a former national player for the 1.6 team in Norway when Clan-based Euro Cup and, well, Nations Cup, I should say, was a thing and so on. So, you know, he's got the genes, got the Counter-Strike genes, and also has a bigger brother who can, you know, hit him with a no-peek bat, that kind of a thing if he does silly things.
It's kind of cool seeing, you know, first of all the CS pros that got into Counter-Strike because of their older brother.
Yeah.
Or their brothers competing. You know, we have Henny and Lucas in the Brazilian scene, Stown here, or
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly. So you've got so many players that have brothers playing in Counter-Strike. And then obviously you've got the family of Hunter and Nico, you know. The
Kovac family.
Yeah.
There's I mean, it's pretty easy to get dragged into, right? Especially, I think a lot of kids, or a lot of younger brothers, even if they don't like to admit it, they do kind of idolize their bigger brother growing up, whether it might be just unknowingly so, but they do try to pick up on a lot of things that they do. So if they're playing Counter-Strike, if they're playing football, whatever it may be.
And try to do better than them as well.
Exactly. Like, having something you can beat your bigger brother in is pretty big. That's why I started playing Counter-Strike, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. All right, my brother, again, started playing. I kind of felt I had to do the same. I actually got introduced to Counter-Strike by Element. So, bit of I guess, unorthodox thing. I had no idea who he was, though, at the time.
That's always the best way, though, because then you don't...
I didn't feel any pressure. I was like, yeah, no, it's like greatest Norwegian player of all time. But, yeah, to me, it's just Ola. But, yeah, no, it's sibling rivalry can lead to a lot of great things. We'll see who's going to be the big brother in this matchup. Optic versus Heroic. We're back in it again. Esatag has rejoined the server. The tempo has definitely been switched up as Nico finds Stavin through the walls.
Well, that's a good start. Optic, they need to hold on to it, though. Esatag looking to come back in. He is back in the server, but he's looking to try and get in towards the B bomb site.
He's made it far.
He's actually just walking past. He's looking for the contact play. He might just get it as well as the headshot comes in. Config will stand tall and get 2 kills, looking for a third, but Neurosaphics will put an end to it. It's all on the Blim F and Neurosaphics to try and make this happen, though. And Optic, look at the amount of control they've got. MSL's inside of the connector, but that scope might have just given away his position.
Oh, yep. Nice little shoulder bait. And he's going to miss the shot on Blame F.
Missed that.
We've seen that a couple of times. MSL seems to be hitting the harder shots more so than the ones right in front of him. And opens up the A bomb site. They do not know about Tessus, who's pretty far, well, forward. I said far forward now, backwards. Now towards the rest of the room. Might actually catch off anyone planning. Actually gets spotted. That is pretty big. Still time to play with here for Heroic. Oh, that's a nice shot onto Blame. You know, down to 14 HP is not going to find anything at all. Tessus with 2 kills. And also a denied bomb plant. Even if he doesn't kill the bomb planter, just gets spotted in time, I guess. Well, alarms Heroic from planting the bomb.
Well, that is Heroic back into the loser's seat.
Yeah. It's been a while. Look at that spam. That is so unfortunate if you're Stavin, but if you're Nico, you're loving every second of it.
Everyone spams that, right? Just in the hope, every single round, you might not get anything, but in the hope that one of the times it'll pay off.
I think I've yet to kill anyone on that wall bang the entire time I've played CSGO.
Yeah, I think I've got like 1 kill through it, maybe. The most crazy wall bang I've ever hit was on Cash, so, you know... Oh, never mind.
All right.
We'll get back to that, but Neurosaphics got a kill on the refresh, so the nade stack coming in.
Cheeky Astralis nades going down the lineage of Danish Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think that's such a good thing is when a team like Astralis just kind of set the sort of stage that everyone needs to try and live up to.
That is how the Counter-Strike scene constantly evolves, right? You find somebody who excels at one part of the game, everyone else needs to catch up to in order to have a chance, and just is a bit of a stepping stool, really, for a lot of these teams, like trying to gradually one-up each other. becoming masters of each element of the game, which is really fun to see.
Yeah, well, looks as though Heroic want to go for their final attack in towards the A-bomb site. They've got one player still inside of B, though, and that is BlameF. He's starting to put a little bit of pressure here.
Is this going to be a double fake? I think this is going to be BlameF again, waiting off rotations. They're going to have one guy left towards A with a bomb rotating over towards B. It's going to be
He's
so
just clearing
big.
everything at this point. And there's the kill on the MSL. That gives them a safe access point through connector if they want to go that way. And BlameF just needs to hold on.
If they go back to A now, this is so genius from Heroic, but it looks like they want to commit over towards B. And it's understandable why they would want to do such a thing, but...
That might just cost them, though. That kill from
10 seconds.
Tess is coming in, but Essetan gets the double. Ooh. And Nato Safix finishes off the job, 11-11. Ooh, that's scary.
That is very scary, and they bring it back. Yet again, these rounds are just so back and forth between these two sides. There's very little separating them. It's the same story as we saw in Nuke, too. I think the biggest lead we had of the game was the five rounds that Optic were up, 13-8 on Nuke, and that was off of the back of a really strong CT side start, winning pistol and so on. But outside of that, it's just been back and forth and winning scrappy round after scrappy round.
I certainly think the map pool that they both share is quite similar as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the win percentage for each team on Overpass, it's just dead even, 67%.
Yeah.
I see Tag just having fun with USPs, or USP opponents.
This is not looking good at all for Optic. So Heroic back into the winner's seat. So they're just there. It's a little game of musical chairs at the minute.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you talked about pretty even map pools. Heroic's win percentage on Nuke before they lost to Optic was at 50%, and Optic's obviously gone up a little bit with that win, but again, not too crazy of a deficit. Overpass, both teams at 67%, and on Mirage, it's Heroic with 59% on 17 maps, Optic 57% on 14 maps. So, yeah, as you said, there's a significant overlap in terms of what these teams play.
Which means pretty much any game we're going to get is just going to be super close. So
yeah.
Good to see. I like this Danish rivalry. I mean, neither of these teams can really rival Astralis, so it's good to have some sort of rivalry at the Danish scene.
Yeah, there we go. This is something Heroic did to Optic, and they want to give it back just as good as they gave it. It's the opening frag for them. I mean, we can't really forget North either. I guess they're kind of in that weird spot where they're between Astralis and Optic and Heroic in that sense.
I certainly think they're better than these two teams at the minute. I think we've kind of seen them even get better as well with Valde taking over as the Inga meter and obviously getting rid of Kirian.
Yugi getting back into shape. And also Kirby and AZ starting to play really solid Counter-Strike again.
Yeah, AZ always a player that has so much potential, but doesn't exactly always show it. And there goes 2 kills for Optic. It is going to be Nico and Refresh collecting those 2 early frags. And Heroic are in a bit of a predicament at this point.
Yeah, this is such a big round for Optic as well. They not just need to win the round, but also keep more than 3 players alive to get a good rebuy in here.
Well, Essetan. Oh,
spots ahead.
Quite land the shot though. Nato Safix will do that deed. He takes away Refresh and it's starting to fall apart here. Only 2 players left. Kill from Nato Safix, but again the trade is there. MSL picks up Stown, and that will be another on the board for Optic. Back to even odds. This is just so hard to call at this moment in time.
It's it's going all over the place. Pretty hefty bank on the side of Heroic though to rebuy. Luckily for Optic, they do survive with those Magic 3, so that means that everyone's going to have a weapon on their side. Utility is a little bit limited. You can see a couple of Molotovs, potential extra flash or an HE is not to be found, but still enough to work with. And I feel like this could very well end up in an overtime as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. It looks like it's going to go that way. And again, in overtime, it's hard to call. He's going to be the team to take it.
Yep. MSL spots his shoulder, not going to hit the shot.
He always flicks a little bit too much.
Yeah. Might need to lower Zoom sensitivity, who knows? So underpass control has been gained for Heroic. Question is what they want to do with it as it stands. They haven't really gathered any sort of map control over towards the restrooms. You can see Tessa's roaming around towards the long area of the map. MSL gets the leg onto Blame. It's pretty solid. Every little bit of damage you can get, you'll take. Oh, solid flash there to force MSL off the angle.
Yeah, that might have just given Heroic the best run possible here at this point. They've got 2 kills coming into the site. Man advantage is there. They've got rid of MSL and Config. Refresh. Oh, how does Essetag find that? Such a great kill, but the Molotov comes in and he will burn away. The bomb plant is starting to come through. Nico, he's dropped inside of water. The chaos, and he fakes it. He comes back over the top. They're going to be expecting him inside of water, but Nido, he will pick him up. It's 13-12. Heroic in the lead yet again. And again, this sort of back and forth, I kind of talked about it, will start to favor the T side.
Absolutely, and you're going to see the result of it as well. Optic barely scraping by in that previous round. Now pretty much broke. I don't think even we're going to see a minor investment. Tessus might think about it, but then again, if he wants to drop an off MSL, probably ill-advised to do so. They have 1 flash on refresh, so we might see a bit of a stack here and have him pop flash over somewhere. See if they can get anything out of that. As it stands, though, Heroic should be aware of the economic situation for Optic, so not going to run into anything crazy. Don't want to throw away this potential lead. Could finally get a bit of a cushion. We could finally have a bit of a gap between the 2 teams. That hasn't been the case for the longest of time. Oh, spots the leg.
Well, that's going to be a headshot for Nato Safix. Can MSL get one? No. Stout, he'll put him in the groove. Nico, Config, and Refresh, the last man standing for Optic. And as Heroic starts to clear their paths towards the A-bomb site, they will eventually realize that this will be a run of the buy. Unless Nico can cause a couple of problems, it won't be as easy for Heroic. There's the kill on to Nato Safix. Again, we're at that point where doing damage here for Optic is certainly the way to go, because Heroic, their economy is not that well built, obviously. Oh my god, it's down. Oh, he will be finished off. Oh, okay. Yeah, but all this damage will all add up.
It definitely will. Pick up a gun here and do some additional. Refresh hasn't been able to pick up the AK. That makes this task a lot harder. BlameF eventually deals with it. So Heroic survived with 3. Gonna get the full rebuy as well on the side of Optic, though. No op. Actually, well, I say that. Spoke to a little bit too soon. Tessus will actually buy the op for MSL, so the swap comes out. And Optic, full committal, no money left really on their side.
Well, Nato Safix, who was relatively quiet at the start of the series, is at the top of the scoreboard here on Overpass. So certainly turned things around and certainly playing a lot better here on their map pick.
Yeah, even without the op in his hands as well.
Mm.
It's good to see. Oftentimes you see, well, people who specializes with the op not just being proficient enough with a rifle to potentially play at this level, right? So as soon as they don't have the big mean green in their hands, they don't really do a whole lot.
That's why sort of everyone talks about Nato Safix being such a well-rounded player. You know, he has got a great mind for the game. I'm pretty sure he sort of in-game led a lot of the lower tier Danish teams as well. Obviously, he's been able to op in the likes of Sprout and do that pretty well. And obviously find himself a spot here in Heroic where he's mainly just been a rifler.
I think one of the actually better, I guess, abilities that he has is just he's extremely hardworking and extremely motivated. Positive mindset into anything he does. And if he fails and if he messes up things, his mindset is not like, oh man, I suck or this sucks or everything sucks. It's like, I need to find a way to fix this.
Yeah. And he generally does find a way, which is always a good sign for a player, especially being young and wanting to have a long career.
Here you see Tess is another player looking to have a long career within Counter-Strike. Oh, okay. Thinking about the potential of going aggressive. It said it's going to be Freiberg to find 2, and well, Tessus goes down as well. This is where it all can unravel. Nico, been a linchpin, been a staple for Optic Gaming up to this point. Needs to do it again. Stems the tide for the time being. Bomb still dropped and spawned, and actually that's where Refresh is making his way. If he can hold off the bomb, this could become really hairy for Heroic.
Yeah, this is a big factor, although Nico falling there, that might have just sealed the deal. Refresh has to do it all. He's got the bomb, but he's going to have to still try and find 3 players. 45 seconds, Heroic can take their time. They know that Refresh is here on the bomb. He will just sit on it like a bird to its egg.
Oh, actually opts to go down underpass. It's fair enough that he might expect someone to come through underpass, but how does he deal with Heroic actually picking up the bomb at this point? He's just going to vacate it completely. Now he needs to bank. Yeah, now he needs to bank on finding the right bomb site. Oh, if they make too much noise.
Oh, that's
Well,
so awkward.
It is. It really is. And that puts Heroic on 15 rounds. It is their map pick. We were expecting a close game, and we were expecting Heroic to be, well, we were holding them as slight favorites going into this. I think it might take us to a third here. Mirage would be the decider if it comes to it. Optic still not out of it. We saw overtime on the first map. Could very well be the same on Overpass.
Mirage, if we go to it as well,
Yeah.
looks to be an incredibly close game. We've seen both teams play it in their opening matches here.
Both close openings as well. 16-12, 16-13.
Exactly. So showing that neither of them are very, massively dominant on the map. It's why it's the third map in the series as well. It's a map they'll be willing
even
to
ground.
play.
Yeah. Even ground for both sides. That usually leads to pretty thrilling games. See, though, shouldn't act like this is over by any means as well. We've seen Heroic fumble versus this kind of weaponry in the past. I mean, they are taking their sweet time here. They are setting up, clearing corners, doing their due diligence. Question is whether or not Optic can get a drop on them. Smokes come out to cover off pretty much the entirety of the backside of the B-bomb site. Running through Molotovs as well. Oh, beautiful flash there. Takes Refresh out the fight. Config still here to fight for control, though. Only has a deagle. Still doing a lot of work with it. 3 kills in the way of Optic here. Man advantage. Nico down to 5 HP. Bomb still to be planted.
Well, Nado, with 33 seconds, looks back over towards Monster. That's where MSL will walk right into his crosshair and is back into an equilibrium. 2 players on each side. 25 seconds, Tessis. This could be the play that wins them this round as he starts to come around the back. That's going to be the bomb. That's the player spotted. There's the kill. Tessis, can he get another one? Close by. Tessis sprays away. And that's 13 for Optic. Perhaps overtime really is there on the table. They've only got 2 to go.
Even picks up the op for MSL. Well, that's a big round for Optic to win, and we said it. Heroic's had issues winning or dealing with these kind of buys.
I think S-Attack had 10k in the bank at the start of this one.
Oh, well, it's going to come in handy. He's dropped weapons all around for his teammates. They're going to get a full buy. So just one flash. Potential HE missing on S-Attack himself. The buy from Optic looking so much better this time around.
Yeah, and if they win this one, Heroic obviously not going to have too much to work with. It realistically will be overtime. There will be a kill coming in early though from S-Attack, another one! And that is perfect from S-Attack. Wielding the SG to success, the long-range abilities really coming through. And it will be Heroic. The 2-man advantage, they start to pressure in towards the A-bomb site. This has got to be a big hold from Nico. He needs at least 1, maybe even 2 at this point. As they start to come in towards him, there's the first phase. He doesn't get a single frag, and that's it all over. Refresh in a 1v5, probably not going to happen. And Heroic will walk away with Overpass.
UMP 1v5. We've seen, Config have a 1v4 and an ace.
Yeah.
But this is looking a little bit out of control for him. It does have a defuse kit. 25 seconds to go, but NativeSFX is going to find him and bank, and that sends Heroic to 16 rounds. So yeah, again, hard-fought match, very close, very back and forth, as you would have expected between these 2 teams. But in the end, it's going to be Heroic taking us to Mirage.
Yeah, Heroic definitely looked very solid, I think, on this map in comparison to that of Nuke. I think they had a couple of times where they struggled on the first map. I think they definitely looked like they struggled on Overpass at times as well. I think obviously it was a point where we thought Optic might have walked away with the series 2-0, but they turned around in the end.
They really did, and I guess for Optic, both sides, honestly, they kind of need to be able to simmer down, make the most out of their advantageous rounds, right? Whether it's getting opening frags, you mentioned it, Heroic had a ton of them in this Overpass game, still struggled to close it out. And also dealing with these low econ buys from both sides. It's been chaotic, to put it mildly, but we'll see what team can actually do that the better once we get into the third map.
Yeah, well, the conclusion of this Danish derby will be played on Mirage. So join us after the break for that map.